We about to get a wave right now, you know what I'm saying? Get your life right with the nightlife. Ghosts, GAK Ghosts, my guy Ritz, Double Z, Carlton, and we have Vegas. Drop some bombs now. We got
I got Ray and Nephew in my cup, nigga. What's up? Yo,
A lot of this is gonna be sauce,
it's the
bro.
nightlife. We got the Ciroc. We got the
gonna be
Moet.
sauce.
We got this
I got a lot of
Allure. We got that Portuguese drink that I don't fuck with
not
Portuguese
Portuguese,
food.
it's vodka.
Whatever
Drop
that
some
is.
bombs,
We
drop
got
some
Dragon Star, which I should throw out. I don't know why you bringing
free
this.
sponsorship. Free sponsorship.
Fam, I don't like this drink.
I might have to go.
Dragon
do
We
Star
are
something.
not
fine.
playing dominoes. We're
I
not
gotta
playing
go.
cheer
Dragon
cards.
Star's mine.
We're
I
not
gotta
in
go
the
crush a
hood.
ting after. I have to go
Fam,
crush a
that's a
ting
drink-
after.
that's a
He doesn't even know
straight-
what's going on. He doesn't know the recipe. Though.
Straight
He's
Caribbean,
doing a
nasty
2 minute. He's
ass
doing a
drink.
2-minute man
Nah,
thing.
G, that's some whack ass drink. Nigga,
Drop
that's
some-
might as well get cold shots. Why not just get cold shots?
Nah, chill out.
Huh?
Hold on, though. Drop some bombs for our guest right now, Mr. 44, Mr. Everywhere, International, St. Martin's, Mr. Private Party, DJ, Wikked.
It's popping.
What's good?
You know, I just appreciate that y'all let me come slide through, talk my shit. You know, and shit never stops. You know, I just been working, and it's like, I feel like after COVID, I felt like I reset it. You know, and like I'm starting all over again.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, even though I did so much shit, you know, pre-COVID, I feel like these times after COVID is like a whole different situation. Not even just for me, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you was able to, that's when, like, for me, like when COVID happened, I was like, that's when the real hustlers came out. Because if you were able to go through that and stay on top and still fucking do what you got to do and maintain, and some even came up. You know, that's when the real true hustlers came out.
Straight up.
And you can tell the ones that were fugazi, those were the ones that fell off and just, they didn't know what to fucking do with themselves. You know, I knew
jobs.
certain people that once the world shut down and all they knew was what they was doing, they didn't know how to adapt to certain things. You know, but for me, I'm like, shit. You know, I'm used to, I've been there. I've been where it's like, okay, no money's coming in. All right, you know what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? We can't do this and this. All right, we know what we got to do. And it's like, if you can adapt to just your regular life, you know what I'm saying? And then adapt to doing something totally different, get out of your comfort zone. COVID exposed a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
100%.
people. And for
100%.
me, it's like, it catapulted me because, for one, like, the best thing I did was move to Miami for like 4 or 5 months because they stayed open. When we was shut down, I went over there to work.
Nice.
And because when I went over there to work, it just brought my stocks up over here, and they just like, yo, this is what I'm charging now. So like, damn, Wikked, for real? Yeah. No problem. You don't want it, go get the other dudes. Go get the $200-$300 G's. No disrespect to them, but you know what I'm saying? You get what you pay for. You know what I'm saying? And like,
Straight up.
at the end of the day, you know, everybody wants to drive a Bugatti, but they only have money for the Benz. So go get the Benz. When you're ready, go get the Bugatti.
Sounds like Gordo. If you see Pay
Some
in
hot
Full,
shit.
Yeah.
Give him off.
what do you want? The Honda,
Yeah.
the Hyundai, or the Ferrari?
Yeah, because he knows there's levels, you know, and there's even levels, you know, even at the top. Like, I'm grateful for what I get, you know what I mean? But then my other DJ brothers from the other major cities, when I see what they're getting, I'm like, damn, I gotta step my shit
some
up.
work in there,
and I'm
yeah.
and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But these guys is like, you know, in America it's just like a different world, you know. I feel like that's the real, like, we just in like a little lake here.
A little box.
They're
yeah.
the ocean with the big fucking whales. We just got the little fishes over here, you know what I'm saying? Because over there, if you're there consistently, and I know a lot of people that do go to America consistently, they know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. It's a totally different, like, you could go, like, I'll give you like little dumb shit examples. You could go to just a nice restaurant and they got valet parking. I don't even know if we have valet parking over here. Like, maybe
Only in,
certain
like, some
hotels.
hotels,
Yeah, certain hotels. You could go just like a regular restaurant
Yeah, and they
and it's
have-
valet,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like $100 to park.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even people that don't have like valet, just regular, like, see how we have parking spots over here where you got to pay like $20 on the weekends, maybe $30. It's $200 over there.
Jesus Christ. You better off valet.
You get what I'm saying? So like the money, the hustle is just different. It's nothing like here in Toronto. And when you go over there consistently, you end up becoming, it becomes part of you, and you bring that shit back home, you know. And then you try to apply it to certain things back home that you can too.
Yeah.
But it's just frustrating because our infrastructure here in Toronto, in so many levels, on and whether it's entertainment, whether it's hospitality, whether it's the restaurant, like it's just. We're just so behind, and you don't realize how behind we are when And I love my city, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people they obviously love Toronto, but like when you just got to get out, you know what I mean? And I that's why I always tell everybody, get out of the city, go see other shit,
Open your mind,
open your mind to other things, because what happens is it expands your creativity. If you're a hustler, your hustle will be different. You know what I mean? Your
You bring a piece of
ideas,
it back, for sure,
it will be different. Your hustle game will be top tier now, because it's like, you've been around real hustlers. You've been around real guys that made real money.
Yeah.
And you know what it takes, and you know what it is. And
So not the pocket watch.
exactly. You're hungry. You're hungry all the time.
Yeah.
You're not content. You're like, no, okay, you know what? A lot of people here, I feel like in Toronto, are just, they're content.
Yeah.
And I feel like because
Comfortable,
they're frustrated
comfortable.
because we have a ceiling, right? But that's why you got to branch out. And like I'm working on a few things here that's gonna like open the doors for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And my boy, we're working on putting like a festival. And I'm gonna have artists. No, we're doing it in the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? But
like Fire Festival. You better not fuck it up,
Not
boy.
no Fire Festival.
Don't fuck it up, boy.
But we're gonna do our, and everyone's gonna hear about it soon. But like, what we're trying to do is we're gonna try to do, a lot of artists that can't go to the States. Y'all can come to the Caribbean. So we gonna go get a bag out there, go perform in front of large people out there, and the right people. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna have Americans coming in there and they're like, okay, cool. This is, and the setting, because obviously if you're in paradise, the vibes is different, right? And
the air is different.
Yeah, and
You're
like
the
again,
sand, like,
in
your feet,
2004, they used to have this thing called the Mix Show Power Summit for the top DJs in the nation.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And I think it was just me and I think Baby U from Toronto. That was the only ones there. Everybody, it's all Americans. So what they did was they had a resort where at the time all the top artists, all the top radio guys, promoters, club owners, just everybody that's in the real hip hop game, you know what I'm saying, was all in this one resort. So it was crazy because I'll be on the 5th floor and two rooms down from me was Jadakiss, Styles P.
That's dope.
2 floors up is The Game. Again, this is 04, right? But there was a lot of unknown new artists that got to break out. You know what I mean? And then some of them are solidified now. And it's I kind of got the idea from that because it was this is something that it's more of a festival, but it's also a summit. It's also a networking opportunity for everybody to really, so for now, we got a lot of people that are what y'all do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all got to come down and do this over there. But this time,
Facts.
y'all going to have all the artists just floating around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't got to worry about, okay, man, how we need to get this guy, but it's gonna be hard to get. No, they're gonna be
it's
right
right
there,
there.
and you're gonna be in a setting where it's everybody's on good vibes.
Yeah.
So everybody's gonna want to fuck with each other. You know what I'm saying? If you hustling, if you doing something, then we'll link up. You know what I'm saying? Because you're already in that setting.
Exactly.
And that's something that we're in the works right now trying to do, and we're looking to launch this shit next year.
That's dope, bro. There's two things that's such a good idea because the Caribbean as a vacation spot, the market opens up because there's gonna be people from all over the world now just vacationing. Say you do it in Aruba or Jamaica. There's people from all over the world visiting these places.
Yeah.
So it's now there's a conference there or
Opening a
a
market
little
to
festival.
all different type of places.
Exactly. The music can travel.
Yeah.
And then I want to ask you, not the pocket watch, but to the club scene. How much you would make in an American club night versus a Toronto club night? Give an average ballpark.
I mean,
So that these guys could know, like these guys could understand the difference.
well, again, there's levels to this shit, right? So like, I can talk to like I have, DJ friends that are in Atlanta or whatever, and I was kind of surprised what they was getting because I was like, man, I'm getting more than you, and I live in Toronto, right? But then when I talk to the top Atlanta guys, I guess the guys, sort of like their position is like, well, my position is in Toronto. They're getting way more than I'm getting, So it really depends on who you speak to, right?
Okay.
Everybody has their positions. Some DJs getting 500. I know certain DJs that I was surprised getting $300-$400 in America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then when I'm talking to my other DJs that are the top dogs, which is only literally like a handful, they're getting like 5 racks a night.
Yeah, in America,
Easily,
for sure.
eh?
Yeah, in
Certain
America,
weekends,
100.
maybe at 10 racks. Like I know one of
For
my
a
boys,
DJ?
like
Yeah. But those clubs be making money though. It's different. The money they're making is different than the money
gotta
they're making
remember,
in Toronto
man. Like
clubs.
think of a
It's
club
different.
like Live on Sunday.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it's
right?
different.
They're generating anywhere between $250,000 to maybe $500,000 every Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that
you don't
makes
think
sense.
that to give the DJ, a 10 racks, that's nothing, right?
Set the tone. Yeah, set the tone.
There's
so-
nothing like that out here.
I mean, listen, nothing like that, but we have something in a smaller scale. And that's why I'm grateful to be at 44 because that club is like by far for me, from my personal experience, living in Toronto all this time and doing this shit, they are like they have the American mentality,
Yeah.
right? They see what other Toronto clubs don't see. And this is the thing that I also too, I always voice this, is like, because I've been doing this so long, a lot of Toronto clubs, they don't really respect the DJ. They give them chump change, but they're the ones controlling the entertainment for the whole night. So I feel like, how are you gonna shortchange the guy that's entertaining all these people? Because even if you pack up a club, if they're not entertained, they're not coming back, or they're not gonna spend money that night that they're all there. If the DJ is entertaining everybody, that means everyone's having a good time. They're more willing to spend every fucking dollar they got in their pocket because they just want to they're having a great time, right? And the DJ is the one that's bringing those vibes. So why not take care of them? Why just give a DJ $400 or $500? You know what I'm saying? And so for me, for the longest time, I fought and argued and had to put my foot down. I lost gigs because I said, nah, this is what I'm charging. You guys don't want to pay me this? Go get another DJ. And I would lose gigs that way. But then I continued to keep on doing what I was doing. And then when certain top guys who had the influence, like certain nightclubs that had the influence to other smaller clubs, and all the smaller clubs like, oh, okay, hold on. Those top clubs are paying Wikked that much? Because all these owners, they all know. They all talk to each other. It's all politics. So they're just like, that's how much you're paying them? And they're like, yeah, it's worth it. Look how much our fucking liquor sales go up when he's here. It makes sense. Like, you can say what you want, but when I book another DJ, my liquor sales are not as high as when he comes through. So he's basically, it's like almost like he's paying him fucking himself. Plus, Wicked's gonna come there and book a couple tables, and his tables are spending a couple racks each. Man, fuck, to give this guy, what he wants, it's worth it. But again, you have to like I always say, you get what you pay for, right? Like if you got a DJ that's not really turning up the club, and he's not booking no tables, you know what I mean? He's just coming there playing the music, and everybody just comes in there, has a couple drinks, goes home. He deserves a couple $100.
Yeah.
But I've always been fighting because even too, I do a lot of parties. I used to have to argue with clubs because they would book artists as a special guest, whether they're hosting or they're gonna perform a couple songs. And they're paying this artist a lot of money, right? Obviously, because he's the one that they're gonna put on the flyer, he's the one that's gonna make the party pop, right? But he's only gonna either two things. He's gonna sit in the corner, get his free bottles, and go home. Or he might do a couple songs, maybe for 20, 30 minutes, if that, and entertain the crowd. The club party goes on from fucking 12 to 3 for 3 hours. So who's entertaining that 3 hours? The DJ is. So how you gonna give him small change and give the artist who's gonna just, you know what I mean? You have to appreciate the DJs that are very good at what they do and entertain the crowd and help generate liquor sales.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to bring the people to the club, it's another thing to entertain them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been in many places where, like, I'm not working, I walk into a club, I'm like, oh, it's packed in here, but there's no vibe. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, people are just coming to their tables and they'll just do the minimum. Okay, 2-bottle minimum, all right, we'll just buy 2 bottles. But if the party's lit, yo, grab another 2-3 bottles, bro. Next thing you know, that 2-bottle minimum, you just bought 10 bottles because the party's lit. And girls are partying.
I'm gonna add to you still because it's true. Because when when I do come to your parties, a lot of tracks are in my whip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once you start playing like 5, 6, 7, 8, you're in a vibe now. That's when guys are start buying bottles now. Or they start like, yo, like I'm back on the block or something right now. Like I feel like I'm chewing the mandem. You know what I'm saying? You're playing maybe half an hour straight of banger after banger after banger. I feel like a lot of DJs now these days, they don't know how to put this sequence together of at least a 10, 15 minute set, you know what I mean, where everybody can vibe to, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it all also comes down to, like, if you really fuck with this shit. Like, a lot of DJs, they just play these songs because they just want to be cool. They don't even listen to this shit. They don't even fuck with these songs. They don't even fuck with these artists. You know what I mean? Like, I really listen to this shit. I really listen to the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my whip right now, I'm listening to Lil Got It, like Lil Key, like I'm listening to trap music. Yeah. I'm not just playing it so I'm cool for the trapsters. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like I'm really playing it. I'm really listening to this shit. And that's why you feel it when I play it. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, this guy, listen, not only does he know the songs, but I can tell he really listens to the songs because there's no off key. You know what I'm saying? Like the songs all kind of like gel together.
Yeah.
God bless the dead. I can't rock with Lil Keed still. I can't.
You know what? For me,
He's
it
too
was
annoying.
like he grew on me.
He grew on a lot of people.
Because
he started off like annoying, I guess.
You know, and don't get me wrong, I don't like all the songs. But that's like, for me, that's like a lot of artists, right? There's a lot of artists that, and I'm pretty sure everybody can agree, like, you might like an artist, but you might not like all his songs. You know what I'm saying?
I like all the Kendrick songs.
Oh, really?
All of
See,
them.
I'm not a Kendrick fan.
What do you
I'd rather
mean?
go J. Cole.
Yeah.
You're J. Cole over Kendrick?
I have his crown tatted on me. I'm going J. Cole.
Wikked?
Crazy thing is, I'm
J.
not
Cole
a
over
fan
Kendrick?
of neither of those guys.
Okay, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
What to say?
You know, I'm not a fan of neither of those guys. You know,
I got one question. So, when you do 200 strong arms this year, right?
Bro, we're off of that now.
Hey, shut up. Are you using the same beat or a new beat?
oh, a
Different
new
generation,
beat,
new beat.
A new beat,
For sure.
100%.
Did you
And
make that
know,
beat, though?
You know what's so crazy? No, I didn't make the beat, but
Okay,
I put it together because, it was like a beat that nobody knew, and the way it was actually like for the song, it wasn't
Arranged the way how
arranged
it was.
exactly.
Okay,
And
got
I
it.
added all the extra shit to it. So, you know, I just made it different than what the original sound. Like if you heard the original song, you'd be like, yo, this, you would think 100 Strong is the original. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
No, but 100% to answer your question, definitely. I actually, even up until now, I've always been looking for that beat because it's still in the back of my head to do the song. So I've been listening to beats ever since 2004 to be, you know, and I'm not gonna lie to you, there was a few beats that I remember and I still have it, you know, in my laptop that if I would ever do it, you know, these are the ones I'm gonna pick from because I love timeless music, you know? And that's one thing about 100 Strong, like, you know, obviously certain guys we can't listen to anymore, but the vibe of it was what people liked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The vibe of the record. And for me, it's got to be, because I just feel like so much music nowadays that come out, it's like, yeah, it's cool for now, but we going to listen to this shit 10 years from now? I don't think so. I think a lot of records is just like, it's cool for now, but we're not going to be listening to this shit later on, you know?
That's crazy.
Or we're not going to really want to, you know what I'm saying? Like we might hear it, but it's like we don't really want to hear it. But I also too been fucking with beats, so like I might just make the beat myself. I've been during COVID, I was able to use my time wisely and learn how to fucking make beats.
What do you do? What are you using? Fruity Loops?
I'm
Reason?
using it's so crazy is that I'm using Machine.
Oh,
You
so
heard of Machine?
directly from Machine into
Directly,
like
yeah.
okay, yeah.
I'm
yeah.
using the Machine program.
Got the beat pad and everything.
Everything, keyboard, beat pads. So it's like basically like an MPC.
Yeah. I know Machine.
If you sample like some of the old beat to make a new beat,
A remix.
That'd be mine.
What
That'd be
that?
crazy.
I mean, obviously, like ideas for putting that, another record like that or the part 2 of it or whatever, or in your case, 200 Strong, ideas have always been flowing. And because, and I didn't even know that shit got put on YouTube. Like,
You never knew that?
I knew later on.
How
right?
late? How late though?
Maybe like, if that shit came out in 04, I remember it was Aristo that did the video, and I probably didn't know that was on the YouTube until like 09, 08.
So are you
And
don't
I saw
have?
how much hits it got. I was like, damn.
So wait, hold on. So wait, who owns that song?
Well, I own the song, but the beat is not my beat. Do you get what I'm saying?
I know that. I know.
So I was the one that put the thing together. I was the one that got all the artists together on that song.
So to
and
this
it was
day, you didn't get no royalties from that record.
nothing.
What are you
That
on,
was-
fam? Why did you do? You better get your royalties done.
That
What
was
the
that
hell?
was for the love of the streets. You know what I'm saying?
You see?
And it wasn't because it wasn't my beat.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But
And
if you
because
put
of
it
the
together,
person,
that is your beat. You know that, right? You put it together, you at least have 25%.
Yes and no, because what happens is the person that actually made that beat, that's a lawsuit. I've seen it many times where like people would flip a beat,
Yeah.
and it wasn't their beat,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was good for 20 years, 15 years,
Yeah.
and then they got hit hard. So all the money that they did make, they lost it
went
all
back.
and then some, right? So I left that one for the streets. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Because at the end of the day, maybe it didn't bring actual like cash in my pockets.
Yeah.
But it brought me that led to cash. It brought me other shit that led to cash. You get what I'm saying?
What other records do you have besides that song? Since this guy wants to talk about
I mean,
100 Strong Arm shit.
I have other, back then I haven't made any songs because, and this is something that, I'm not really happy to say, but, a lot of times artists are difficult to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And I was dealing with a lot of real guys. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yo, shit, I got studio time. All right, pull up.
No one shows up.
I can't find them.
Yeah.
I watch the news. They're on the run. You know what I mean? Like, like, so it's just difficult, or like guys, all of a sudden, they got beef with some other dudes. They're not doing music right now. Music's on pause.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so a lot of times situations like that kind of like deterred me from like, doing certain things, right? And at the same time too, it was like, I'm not just I got to a point where it was like, yo, shit has to make sense now because I already paid my dues and did shit for the love and did shit for like, for the culture. Now we got to do both. Now we got to do for the culture, but it also has to make sense. Like, you know what I'm
Take care of
saying?
yourself at the end of the day too.
Yeah, like you said, like, I didn't get no royalties off that one. So now we got to do that shit now. Now we got to make sure we get the royalties. You know what I'm saying? But, a lot of times artists, they don't have their shit together.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And I'm dealing with a manager that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. You know what I mean? Or I'm dealing with, an artist that's just like, I don't want to say lazy, but it's just not,
Not putting the
they
work.
don't have
for
that work
yeah.
ethic. You know what I'm saying?
Which artist are you talking about? Khalifa?
No, well,
Okay.
there's a lot of artists that are like that. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of artists too that just like, they just fell victim to the streets. They was hot artists back then.
Yeah.
And even now, we can say the same thing now. There's a
Yeah.
lot of artists too now.
So in that
we
era,
lost.
okay,
Yes.
in that area,
Wait.
what?
The man them do the freaking show.
I know. I was gonna ask him about. I was going back to the club. I was gonna say, okay, actually, I'm lying, but I want to go back to the
I was
club.
gonna bring it back.
Just wait.
I was gonna bring it back.
Let me get the question.
I was gonna bring it back, Ritz. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Yeah, so Wikked. Since we're at like 44 Sundays and you said it's like American style, right?
Yeah.
And you say that's That's honestly, it is the hottest party when you're there on Sunday. So when you go to the States, like, what would be your top parties that you know you've seen or you know about? In general, even if you don't like even work it or whatever, like, what would you say the top parties in the States?
Well, I I always go to where my boys are DJing. So like for example, Stevie J, that's my dog. So I'm at Live on Sunday. In New York, there's Harbor City because my boys DJ there on Sundays. I also go to Story a lot. My boy Don Hart does that. There's also in LA, Bootsy Bellows. There's like I go to Greystone too. Like, so it really depends on when I'm there because sometimes when I'm there, you know, because in America they're just every weekend is just like, you see how we have like Caravana weekend, or we'll have like film festival, right? TIFF or whatever.
Yeah,
in America, literally every fucking weekend there's something big going on, right? So it's like you're walking into a mess, like Rolling Loud's going on here, and then they got fucking that bikini weekend in Miami. Like
there's all different type of
there's
big,
all
like,
different. So
events,
there's so many fucking
It's
parties.
fair.
You know, that's like this shit was happening last week. You know, but this week it's like all kinds of crazy shit. Like, so it really just depends on when I get there because. But the ones that I'm always at is like Live on Sunday. Don't get me wrong too. Like, you know, I go to Miami a lot. That's like also one of my second or third homes. Like, so I'm at Gold Rush. I'm at Booby Trap. You know what I'm saying? I'm at 11. You know, like the strip clubs in America is different.
Yeah, they're there.
You know, and so like, and that's also too like for me. That's where I really get to see real vibes. You know, real party vibes. Yeah, real party vibes.
So what would you say at 44, like, you know, for like the party vibes? What do you think they really like need to like step up on? Like people, like talk to the Toronto people.
To me, at 44, that's like the one place that I feel like I'm not in Toronto. You know, but I'm talking like maybe like after 1:30.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like after 1:30, everybody's lit, everybody's turning up, and then, you know, it just becomes like I feel like, and even like my friends from America, when they come to 44 on a Sunday, they tell me like, "Yo, like we don't even play hard like this back home," you know, and
yeah, we go
like you're playing some songs that we don't even play back home, Wikked, like, and then you know they were like, "Yo, I'm gonna play this shit when I go home," you know, so you know, and a lot of times too, like for example, we'll book a lot of big DJs, right, and you know they'll hit me up and they'll be like, "Yo, what's the hottest Toronto records out right now to play, or what's some Toronto bangers in the club that they won't expect me to play because they're American DJs." And I'll send them the records. Like, you know, not too long ago, Drama was here and he hit me up and I'm like, "Yo, Wikked, send me some records, bro." I'm like, "All right." I sent them like, "Oh, you gotta play this, you gotta play this, you gotta play this."
So do you feel like from even like other sides of like people that aren't popping, you could help them if they came to you and like actually like
What do you mean,
came
like
to you on a business
artists or
level?
DJs? Artists? I mean,
like if they want to work with you, is it easy to just come to you and be like, "Listen,"
this is the
or
conversation.
you give them advice if like,
yeah,
you know?
no, I always give advice whether they want to take it or not. But I always have this. This is a conversation. Like one of my number one conversations when it comes to artists is like, you know, them wanting to either get the record played by me or, you know, how do they get, you know, get me to fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Be behind their movement. You know, and for me, it's really difficult, but at the same time, you know, I have a passion for it. So that's why I don't just disregard it. Because I could be a fucking straight asshole and be like, "Fuck everybody, I'm doing me." You know what I'm saying? But I still have that in me where it's like, nah, like I gotta break my artists. I gotta break these guys. You know what I'm saying? And even though like I know a lot of times I've done things that led to nothing, you know, and that's what kind of unmotivated me because I was like, "Yo, I helped so many artists out. They didn't do their fucking, you know, what they were supposed to do. They got themselves in trouble, you know, or they got themselves in some bullshit." And it's like, man, like I put in a lot of work behind this for you to flourish with your career. So
they don't understand it's more than just like what you get
because
from
at the
like
same time
social
too,
media or whatever.
a lot of people know me, right?
Yeah.
They might know me. They might not know these artists like that, right? Or they know of them, but they don't know them personally. A lot of people will know me personally, right? So when I'm trying to shove or not shove, but I'm trying to show them these artists that I'm fucking with, you know, that itself is a difficult situation, right? So I come into situations where it's like, for example, like just basic, everyday shit. The number one basic shit I get is like when I'm in a club and an artist wants to get the record played. And I tell this to every artist, you know what I mean? Especially obviously up and coming artists that don't really get the records played. I always tell them, whether it's me or any other DJ, or to show respect. Don't ever come to a DJ and be like, yo, play my shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I've heard horror stories with other DJs where like artists would come, like, I'm grateful again, like I have a lot of relationships and people have love for me and respect, so I don't get that kind of treatment. But I've seen other guys get it. You know what I mean? And that's why I was just like, you know, if you want a DJ to play your record, you have to understand they're in the business of getting paid to play records, right? So, and this is what they do in America. And that's why a lot of artists in America flourish more than they do over here. These artists in America, they're greasing the DJs. So it's almost like, yo, this DJ is getting paid $300 from the club. He's DJing in front of 500 people. He's getting $300. Artists just came up to me like, yo, here's $1,000. Can you play my song for a minute?
Jesus Christ.
Man, he gonna do that in a second. That's how you come at a DJ, right? Don't be like, yo, play my song. I got no weed for you, I got no bottle for you, and I got no money for you, but play my song. And the DJ doesn't even know who this artist is. There's no rapport, they don't have no relationship. So you can't come at a DJ like that. Now, if you got a relationship with a DJ, you should already know what it is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, yo, especially like with me, and that's why, like, again, I'm grateful. People take care of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they straight up, like just this past weekend, these guys sending me bottles. I don't even drink like that. You know what I'm saying? And they're taking care of me. You know, and that's how you gotta treat it like a business. People are not in the business of doing favors. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's here to fucking make money and make moves. And it's got to be a mutual benefit. You know what I mean? Like, what is the benefit for me to play a record? And you know what's so crazy? I got to tell you this story because I felt like being an asshole one night. I was at a club, and I didn't really care about the party because I already got paid. You know, the crowd was whack or whatever, right? And there was this artist, and he really wanted to get his record played. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, listen, like, this is not really the crowd that's going to really appreciate your record. Like, you got to make also, too, you got to be able to read shit. Artists got to be able to read shit, right? Like, if a club is popping and like the DJ's playing all these hot records that from artists that everybody knows, and now you want to slide in your record, it might not be to your best benefit. Because if you there with your homeboys, because I've seen it happen many times, where they got the DJ to play the record, so the club went from here, and then the artist's record somehow got his record to get played, the party went here. And so he's there sitting in his section, like his section is turned up, but the whole club is fucked.
Yeah.
And how does
that?
that? And me being and it's, again, this is the reason why I give advice.
on you too.
It also looks bad on me, right? But I don't care because everybody knows when that shit happens, they know that I was doing somebody a favor or I got greased. Right? Because people know that that's not how I rock. They know I'm getting this shit lit, right? So they know that shit ain't me. Right? It's like you. Like if you did something that's out of the ordinary, I was like, yeah, he got a bag. He got a bag.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Gutsy got a bag for that. That's not him. You know what I'm saying? So they know that from me. But for the artists, it's gonna look bad because you just seen the whole club turn it up. As soon as your record came on, the vibe went all the way down.
But some people might think that's a form of payola. What do you say on that?
I mean, payolas have been existing since the beginning. Payola has always been there. So payola will always be there. And payola, to be honest, is your way through for a lot of situations. If you're artist, you're not thinking about doing payola, have fun. You know what I mean? Because I'll tell you right now, even the guys that do payola, it's not even a guarantee that they're gonna bust, but at least they're putting themselves in position. You know what I'm saying?
Investing, yeah.
At least you're putting yourself in position.
And that's the music game, it's all
that means, yeah,
investments.
because listen, I'll tell you right now, if you're an artist, and this is another thing I tell artists, if you don't build a rapport with the top DJs in every major city, you might as well pack it up.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that's gonna support your record. They're gonna bust your record. They're gonna break your record, and they're gonna make an impact in the party, so people will remember who the fuck you are. But you don't want to play a record and the DJ's just like he played it, didn't say nothing, didn't turn up, didn't make a movie with a record, and that's it.
But you should already had their fucking track from like weeks ago. Personally,
Well, it depends.
If I'm making a new track, I'm sending
well, that's
it to
another
DJ
thing
Wikked,
too.
I'm
Like
sending it to
for me, and that's why I tell artists also, right? Build a rapport with a DJ and make sure that you give him the record way before he's DJing. Don't
In a
tell
timely
him
fashion,
that night when he's already rocking and be like, yo, play my record. First of all, I don't have your song. I'm not gonna go. You want me to go online right now and download your song?
It's bare work while you're already spinning.
I got 3 minutes every song that I gotta switch songs. You want me to go tap into the fucking Wi-Fi and download your record and wait for it to download, finish, and then put it in my Serato?
Yeah.
And then cue it up. Like, man, you asking a lot. Now you making me work for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Plus, you probably already have like the list of songs you're trying to play for a certain period, right? Let me ask you, do you go into the mindset of DJing a club night with a set?
I mean, always. Every DJ always has their sets.
Not every day. Not in this area. Not in this era.
I mean, they should. They should have like at least an idea. Like for me, I have an idea, but I'm not necessarily gonna play in that order. I go by the vibe of the party.
Right.
So like I might have a game plan, but then I get to the club and I'm like, yo, I gotta scrap that whole game plan because this shit ain't gonna work for this club.
It's not the same crowd. Yeah.
This crowd is on this shit right now.
Yeah.
Like I've gone to parties where it's like, okay, I just got a whole bunch of new shit. You know what I mean? Like trap shit, hip hop shit. I'm ready to turn the fuck up. I walk into the club, it's a reggae crowd. I gotta pull my reggae sets.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hear this trap shit right now. I gotta go reggae bangers right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it really depends, and that's what takes the difference between the good DJs that can read the room. You know, because some DJs will like literally like, yo, they prepared all day this set. They don't give a fuck what they're walking into. They're playing this set. They don't care if they're fucking with the set.
Because they just get paid.
Like I spent all day putting these songs together. I'm playing this shit. This is what I know. This is what I practiced. This is what I'm doing today. But then the crowd's like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Like, we're not on that right now.
No, DJs need to read the crowd. Some DJs for sure out there need to read the crowd more often. Yeah,
I've had to freestyle shit all the time.
Yeah,
you know
I
what I
definitely
mean?
hear that
all the time. And that's where like experience comes in. You know what I mean? A lot of these new DJs, like, you know, I can't lie. They don't do their homework. They just picked up a laptop and know a few songs. It's like dope dealers that sell a couple ounces think they're fucking kingpins. Like, nah, you gotta do your due diligence. You gotta do your homework. You gotta know this shit because there's so many fucking things that happen in a whether it's you're doing a hood party, you're doing a club night, you're doing there's so many distractions and so many situations that you got to be able to adapt. And if you don't have that experience and you don't have that talent to be able to do that shit, it's going to show when you DJ. And that's why you hear a lot of whack DJs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're not prepared. They've never been in these situations before, or they don't know how to adapt. You know, and that's why, like, I'm glad that I'm now starting to see it where it's like certain experienced DJs are getting the bag now. Because the clubs are now seeing it, like, yeah,
these guys are
a lot of
important,
times, like,
sure.
and it goes down to that same whole shit where it's like, yo, my homie's a DJ, right? So there might be a promoter or a manager or a club owner is like, my homie's a DJ, I'm gonna let him rock the club, but your homie's not a good DJ, but he's your homie, right? And he's bugging you, yo, put me on, you're my homie, and I seen shit like that just become a disaster. You're better off paying a stranger, somebody you don't know that's experienced, that fits the fucking job description. That's supposed to put, I get it, you want to put your homeboy on, but you're fucking up your business because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And that happens not even just with club shit, with a lot of shit. Like, I seen a lot of guys, like, for example, artists put their homie on to be their manager. But the manager doesn't know fucking nothing about the business.
Just because he's a homie.
But that's your homeboy. But, you know, you need to get a real manager. Because if you're going to take this shit for real and you're going to do this shit for real, you need a real manager. You can't be like, this is not like, yo, let me put my homeboys on. Now, don't get me wrong. If your homeboy is fit for the job and he's highly qualified, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
100%. That's not, without question, you got to do that. But, you know, a lot of guys, they just want to put guys on because that's their homeboy. And it's like, you got to be careful with that because that can fuck you in the end. And I see that happen a lot.
That's
Even with blogs. Even with like, you know what I mean? Like shows, like, you know, they put guys on. It's like, yo, you're not even really good at what you do. You're lucky you're my homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, Wikked, don't mean to cut you off. Let's just do one last question here.
Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide, give me a roadmap of you partying Monday to Sunday. Where would you be? What city? Where you at partying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? What's the club to be at? What city?
Oh, man. Well, obviously, you know, I'm going to be biased because my Sunday night, if any of y'all haven't been, y'all got to come pull up. Let's see, you know, I got you. Sunday night, 44, that's my spot.
Yeah.
You know, that's my only weekly residency. Everything else, I float around. But if I'm going to be, like, anywhere I can go, fuck, it's going to be hard for me to leave Sunday at 44 to go to live on Sunday because that's my other second favorite spot to be at. Tuesdays at Vendome, Miami. I like, what was that party on Wednesday nights in LA? I can't remember the name of the club, but there's a Wednesday night in LA. They play 90s music.
Shit.
Yeah, so they're playing 90s hip hop, 90s, because like I come from that era, right? Yeah. And they do it properly, you know? They do it properly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Friday nights, Saturday night Story in Miami.
Okay.
Monday nights Booby Trap. Everything's in Miami for me, man. Like I'm always in Miami. It's like, I can't even lie to you. Like Miami's a spot, yeah. Like because I've been to like other spots and it's just Miami's just different, you know. Like yeah, Atlanta too is a vibe. The only thing is, Miami has the women.
Jeez.
You know.
Are we talking about like ethnic women from all over, or are we talking about just a certain class of women? Like, what are we talking about?
Well, because they have so much tourists, right? Like, there's a lot. Everybody from around the world goes to Miami every fucking weekend.
Yeah.
Right. So it's sort of like a Vegas, where it's like you're getting everybody from around the world always coming to these spots.
Yeah.
And Miami in the last, I don't know, maybe 5 years, 6 years, has just been blowing the fuck up. Like I've been going to Miami for years.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like how it is now.
No, it's been crazy. It's been
That
crazy.
was crazy.
For sure,
and like so many people that I know that don't really go to Miami go there frequently now. They like that's their second home. You know what I'm saying? And
most definitely.
you know, you can't. How are you gonna complain with? It's like Miami's like half Caribbean, half major city. So you got palm trees. You know, and then you got, you know, Spanish women with bubble butts. Like, who's gonna hate on that?
And you're Filipino. You like Spanish things, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of off it now because I had my fair share.
Okay,
You
you're
know what I'm
married
saying?
now, right?
And they're a little bit crazy, a little bit crazy.
You're a married man, right? Ricky?
No, I'm not married. I'm not married.
Ladies, you single?
You know.
No,
I'm single 100%. But I'm just saying,
look at
like,
that. Check 44.
No, 'cause-
Make sure you check Wikked. Give him a bottle, and you might get a night. You might just.
for real, I appreciate you letting me come through, man.
Not for sure. We're definitely happy.
Listen, we got a million more
I
questions.
can just
but-
talk forever. You know
I
what
know.
I'm saying? I can talk forever. Like,
100%.
100 strong arms.
Bro, it's your fault. It's your fault.
We're wrapping it.
But
I
no,
want-
most definitely, we're happy Wikked came through, gave some real spill to the artists, talk this shit. But it's time, unfortunately, time for us to, you know, wrap it up. Vegas, Ready? No, shout your handle.
You already know. Y'all can find me, DJ Las Vegas, anywhere. You just Google me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a musical artist there. You could just check that shit out. Shout out to Miami, man, and the Cocaine City, bro. Cocaine built Miami, fam. We got to shout out Miami.
definitely.
And the Heat, dog. The
MIA,
Heat is
yo.
taking
Yo,
them
Jimmy
over.
Butler, bro. All the
Shout out
way.
Jimmy
MIA,
Butler.
Jimmy
Michael
Butler,
Jordan's
I love
lost
it.
Man, we didn't
Him
even
and
get to, we didn't even get to
T-Buck.
talk ball. Nothing.
I know, we're coming back on
You know what I'm
our
saying?
show. You're gonna come back on the Magnum show. We got lots more
Yo,
questions for you.
can we pull up at 44 on you with the cameras?
Yeah,
Hit-
'cause
hit-
I
hit
asked
me
them
up.
and they said no to me.
Hit
so
me
I'm not
up.
gonna lie.
Hit me up. You know, I have to the way I gotta twist it, and you know what I mean. I gotta twist it a certain way, you know. You know, so yeah, just let me know.
Yeah, we
let me know.
figured it out.
Let me know. They just, like I said, they're different over there.
Yeah,
Like they don't let nobody in the DJ booth. Like they were trained by the people from 11.
Oh wow.
So again, like this is a totally different.
Even their lighting
club.
system, they hired it. They
Yeah,
hired the guy
lighting
from the next
systems
like
are the guys from
States
that
and
bought the stuff from 11. Yeah.
Yeah, like
so the
it's-
same lighting that's at
yeah.
11 is the same people that installed our
Literally.
lighting, and the same
Wow.
people
That's why
that
it looks like
trained their staff are the same people that trained our staff.
Don't worry, me and Gertz will be your apprentice DJ, like you're training us. We'll just be there.
I'm actually always looking for up and coming DJs because
Shout out Java though. He was always your opener.
yeah,
That's my
a
guy.
lot
Yeah,
of
shout out to Jarvis,
DJs that I put on, they end up getting their own situation, getting their own residencies, getting their own gigs, and that's what I'm there for. Is that I tell guys, I'm like, look, I don't want you to be my opener all the time, like forever. This is just temporarily. Like, don't worry, I'll find another
platform.
opener.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
I'm trying to help you become the headliner. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I started. You know what I'm saying? I was opening up for guys, and I was like, man, I just wish it was different because back then, the top DJs in the city, they wasn't helping no guys like me.
Yeah.
Now, and that's the reason why I do it, because I just remember that feeling. I would always holler at the top DJs. I'm like, yo, I'll slide through. I'll do it for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let me just open for like an hour. You know what I mean? Not even a return call. Nothing.
Slimy.
They would just straight just ghost me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember that feeling. I remember that feeling. So that's why when other DJs approach me, I do the reverse. I'm like, let me hear you. Let me hear you, because I'm always looking for openers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And because a lot of times, like my opener, sometimes he has a gig.
Yeah.
And he can't do it. All right. So I got like 4 or 5 openers.
Jeez.
Who's ready to go? You know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
So
now,
yo,
yeah,
let
we
me
got-
see. Yeah, let them know. What time is it? You know what time it is right now. Unfortunately, we gotta go because that's how that's how life is. Get your life right with the nightlife. They have Vegas special guests in out here. Our guy DJ Wikked, Mr. Worldwide. Our guy Ritz, Double Z Carlton, and your host, co-host GAK Ghost. It's another episode of your nightlife, and we out.